Hello, and welcome to Transfer Station Operator Training. The state of Vermont strives to have clear communication, and we hope that this training provides an ongoing resource that can be referenced not only for new hires, but also as questions arise. In the state of Vermont, transfer stations come in all shapes and sizes, but there are some common standards that apply to all of them. In this training, we are going to talk about the solid waste certification for a facility, what that is and how it works, including the items that are collected and facility services offered, general day-to-day operations at the facility, and how you can keep your site clean, the importance of a facility management plan. We will touch on quarterly reports, what waste must be managed at the solid waste facilities, what is landfill ban, food waste, recycling, leaf and yard, and clean wood, household hazardous waste, and more. Let's start with the solid waste certification. Basically, the certification is a 10-year permission by the state to operate a facility based on the outline you provided of what the facility intends to collect, how much it is allowed to collect, and how you operate the facility. That certification needs to be on-site and available for anyone who operates the facility and used like an instruction manual that tells you what you have agreed to do. It will include ownership information, contact information, as well as the name and contact information of the landlord. Reporting information like your solid waste ID number that you would use for reporting. It has your facility location, including the 911 and GPS coordinates. Next, it identifies your facility, purpose, and a general description of what should be collected and from whom. For example, Facility X, your facility, collects solid waste or trash, recyclables, food waste, and leaf and yard waste from local residents and commercial haulers. It also identifies what items are specifically collected, the services that are offered to your customers, and how much of every waste can be stored on site. We'll get more into other specific types of services later in this training. Amendments to the certification. If anything is changing in the way your facility operates, long-term changes, the facility would need to submit an application for an amendment to the facility certification, especially given that these are only recertified every 10 years. Also, if your facility is thinking to collect a waste that is not on your current certification, this waste must be added and approved using an amendment. Contact our certification staff to help you through the process. General day-to-day operations. The entrance to the facility is significant in that customers are there for a purpose, and what they have in their vehicle is not something they want to drive around with. So if your facility is not open, having a sign at the entrance with the days and hours of operation is important. If the facility is closed and there is a locked gate at the entrance, this is how you not only prevent unauthorized access, which can sometimes lead to theft and vandalism, but it can also discourage or limit the amount of waste that is abandoned when an attendant is not on site. Prevent blown debris, litter, and nuisance animals or birds by tarping open containers and/or using enclosed collection containers. Facilities must clean up any abandoned or scattered debris daily. Bottom line, you are required to keep your facility secure and clean. So at the end of the day, secure all collection containers and the facility itself. Everyone that has access to the facility must know these requirements. Do you know what your facility management plan is? All operators must know about this document, and an up-to-date copy of this plan should be on site at all times. This document is created by the transfer station as a guidance document on what to do in case of emergency, who to contact, and more day-to-day operations at the facility level. The plan is there to help you do your job. If you do not have a copy at your site, you need to get one. Reporting. Depending on your certification, you are either required to report quarterly or annually. This is done through ReTrack, which is the state's online reporting system. All facilities should have a clear understanding of deadlines for quarterly reports, including on leachate tank if necessary. And depending on your facility, the operator may need to know this, and/or the operator may get help from your administrative office. If you need more information about reporting, contact the Waste Management Division. Now that we've covered the basics, it's time to get into how individual materials or waste should be managed. For all facility, this includes solid waste or trash. All solid waste shall be collected, stored, and managed in a way to minimize potential waste odors before being transported to a certified treatment or disposal facility. At the end of the day, tarp or cover open containers. Check to make sure containers are not leaking, and clean the tip floor each day to prevent windblown, litter, and nuisance animals. As required by law, make certain to remove any banned waste, such as hazardous waste, electronics, fluorescent bulbs, mandated recyclables such as cardboard, tires, and others from disposal if they end up on the tipping floor or in a trash dumpster. Some facilities may choose to charge a fee if banned materials show up in loads on the tipping floor. This poster provided by the state shows all banned materials and must be posted in an area that is clearly visible to the public. It identifies what is banned from disposal. All operators at the facility should know the options for proper recycling or management to prevent items from ending up in a trash bag or dumpster. In addition, the solid waste program has flyers that can be provided to your customers, such as the Waste Not Guide. Landfill banned materials. If your facility collects any landfill banned materials such as used oil, lead acid batteries, tires, appliances, paint, and others shown on this poster, you must notify users of on-site options. If not, have a list of options available, provide flyers, and/or refer to your solid waste management entity, or contact the state solid waste program at 802-828-1138, or go to VT, like Vermont, vtrecycles.com. Facilities who collect trash are required to collect food waste. Food scraps are banned from the landfill, so food scraps must be kept separate from trash. All food scraps should be stored in watertight containers with a lid. The facility must have an adequate supply of wood shavings or sawdust on hand to cover the food scraps. Monitor this daily to keep down the odor and flies. Secure lids of totes with a clamp or a bungee cord. Also, if possible, secure totes inside a structure at the end of the day or within an electric fence to prevent animal issues. Should you have any issue with visiting bears, immediately reach out to Fish and Wildlife for assistance. Also, contact the Solid Waste Program for bear guidance information and handouts for your customers. Recyclable materials. Facilities must offer the collection of recyclables, and those items must be kept separate from trash and secured in a covered container. The minimum of what a facility is required to collect is empty and rinsed clean containers like bottles, cans, and jars, clean and dry paper and cardboard, aluminum, steel, glass, and plastics number 1 and number 2 are banned from the landfill, so they must also be recycled. Leaf and yard waste and clean wood are all banned from disposal in the regular trash. Facilities are required to offer seasonal collection for leaf and yard waste, and no burning of leaves and grass or anything under 1 inch. Clean wood is also banned from the landfill. Facilities may choose to collect for reuse or recycling or refer customers to other local options. Burning is a last resort for clean wood and large woody debris over 1 inch and requires a permit from Air Quality Division. Check with Air Quality first and have the permit in place before doing anything. Household hazardous waste, also known as HHW. Facilities will have special requirements listed in their certification for collecting HHW. Most of you are not permitted to accept HHW at your facility. Check for one-day HHW events in your region. Store any abandoned household hazardous waste away from heat in a safe, secure location away from regular operations. An important thing to remember if HHW is stored inside is that the area must be vented. If you end up with hazardous waste on site, notify your supervisor and make arrangements to remove the waste off-site as soon as possible to the nearest permanent facility that will accept this waste or HHW event if possible. Keep your customers informed by offering flyers with dates of HHW collection events or permanent household hazardous waste facility locations to prevent HHW from being dropped off or abandoned at your facility. When we talk about recycling, usually those are the items that are signified by the blue recycling containers and the white chasing arrows. Just to touch on this for a moment, special recycling, commonly identified with the orange circle and chasing arrows, is a different kind of recycling that does not go in the regular recycling bin or the trash. That's the main point here. Some facilities elect to participate in these programs if they have the proper storage space. These are a few of the current programs, and others are continuing to be added as time goes on. If you collect and participate in any of the special recycling programs, there is a separate training for each of the programs, and all staff that manage any of these wastes must watch the appropriate training video or attend a training to become familiar with all of the various requirements for collection, storage, and labeling of these waste products. If you do not collect these items at your facility, go to vtrecycles.com and click on the special recycling symbol. There is the county lookup at the top of the web page. Check your county to direct your customers to the nearest locations. Also, ask the solid waste program for handouts that you can provide to your customers. The battery program is one of the current special recycling programs that we want to talk about for safety reasons. Facilities that manage batteries must be especially careful with lithium-ion batteries, as well as devices that contain embedded lithium-ion batteries. Free recycling exists in Vermont at over 150 locations for small batteries, rechargeable and single use. If your facility receives a bulging battery, such as what is shown in the photo on the left, place the battery in a DDR battery kit if available. DDR stands for damaged, defective, recall. If the DDR kit is not available, Immediately place the damaged battery in a container filled with kitty litter or sand, and place the container outside of the facility, away from flammable materials. Contact your district or town immediately for instructions on how to manage the damaged and defective battery. Most facilities that manage batteries as a part of their services should have battery safety kits. Handle damaged batteries carefully and use battery safety kits. If your facility collects batteries, be certain to ask about the battery training video for battery collection and the battery safety training video for proper use of battery safety kits. Links for training videos and outreach materials are provided with this training video. If not, request a current copy. Thank you for your time.